Hello friends, welcome to Java Logging IO tutorial. In this video, we are going to look at logging framework by discussing FileHandler, XML formatter and SimpleFormatter. In our past example, we did not talk much about handler as well as formatters. By default, logging API takes console handler and produced output will be formatted by SimpleFormatter. So in the last video, we saw the log message which we raised got printed in the console handler, and we also saw some specific formatting is followed by the output. In this example, we will use FileHandler, and we can also see how the logging API defaults to XML formatter. Before this, we will understand how handler and formatter works. We know that application will produce log message. We simply specify that log message in the form of string, and we will make a specific API call to push that log message to the output medium. So we use the logger component, and logger component will add some more information to the log message. Even though what we log is a plain text message, the logger will add extra information like date and time and the calling package and method name. Handler knows the destination of the message, and formatter knows the how to format that message. So as a end user, if you see, you will as a programmer or developer, you will push a log message, a simple string message that needs to be logged, that you will push through the logger. Then handler knows where to deliver that log message, whether that log message needs to be delivered to the console window or flat file or some system waiting on a network on a specific port to receive the log message. So the destination is decided by the handler, and formatter knows how to format the output message, in what format we need to deliver the log message. So that's decided by the formatter. Handler can also filter the message based on the log level. That means there are two levels of log. In level 1, you can specify the logging filter for or logging filter at a global level. Then under each handler, we can filter the global message further. So for example, a global filter is allowing all the message till fine level or finer level, just by skipping the finest, and each formatter can have their own filter. That means some filter can allow only the warning message, warning and warning plus a more critical message. That means warning, error and critical. So some log filter can allow info, warning and other messages. So that way you can apply two-level filter. Level 1 filter will be at global level, and level 2 filter, there may be multiple filters for each handler. Java logging allows multiple handlers, but each handler can be attached to a single formatter. So there may be multiple handler possible, but you cannot attach multiple formatter to a handler. So that means handler can have only one formatter. let's see how Java logging API works with multiple handlers. Let's say there is a application which is producing the log message. So the log message is given to a logger, and logger can add additional information like date and time and other class specific information. That means where is the package and what is the class and even what is the function name. So from here the message can travel to different handlers. So let's say the different handlers are console handler, file handler, and socket handler. So we can have a level 1 filter here at global level. Then at the handler level, we can have a further filter. Say we can have a global filter here and level 2 filter here. Say for example, this handler receives only error message, and file handler receives info messages, and socket handler allows almost all the message except finer and finest. So if I say, then we will be having a filter here, and we can allow only the error message, even though the first level filter allows almost all the message. For example, let's assume like that. It allows all the message, and at each handler we can have a second level of a filter. So that way in console handler we can see only the error message, and here we can see info, warning, error, and here almost everything, fine, config, info, error, all those stuff except finer and finest, right? So here you can see application is producing the log. A logger will add additional information, and from here the logger can be attached to multiple handler. Then each handler can be attached to a formatter. So you can see a logger can be attached to a multiple handler, and handler will make use of formatter to format the message. So from formatter the message will reach the output medium. So here, since it's a console handler, this will be the console output window, and since it's a file handler, the output can reach a file, and since this is a socket handler, there may be some computer system there the message will get delivered. So let's say a message produced here will be, let's consider a error message is produced, and since it's allowing all the message, it will come through here. Here error message will get pushed to all three medium, and in the second level filter we are allowing the error, so it will travel and it will be shown in the console output window after formatting it with a specific formatter. Similarly, the error message will reach all three destinations, the same error message. So the message produced here is once, but it reaches three different medium. So let's assume there is a debug message. So let's assume there is a debug message, or let's say the find message. So here, since we have filter is error, find message is somewhat deeper level compared to error, so it will not pass through the console handler. and this find message, it will not pass through the file handler as well, but it will pass through the network terminal, which is dedicatedly allocated for the error handling system. So if you see here, the find or debug message reaches, and it won't reach as other two output medium. So this is how the logger works, and here you have to understand the components like logger, handler, formatter, then the output medium, as well as you have to understand the filter. We saw in the previous video also, and if needed we will apply filter here in this video also. That's all you need to know about the handler and formatter. Now let's go to an example. Here in this video we will create a file handler example. First we declare our logger object. Then in the constructor, if you see, we are making use of log manager, get log manager. So this will give us a log manager, and we call this as a logman. Then from logger itself we are getting the name. So this will give a unique name. If there are multiple application which is using the same logger dot global logger name, then we will be getting a unique name on a different application. So here we retrieved such a unique name for our logger and we assigned it here. Then using this logman, we are making call to get logger, and we give this name whatever is given to us. So we are passing that and we get the logger. So now we have the logger object ready. Then from this logger object we are setting our first level filter. We can say this is a filter, level 1 filter we applied, and here we are allowing all the log messages. Since level 1 is global, we are allowing all the messages. Next, if you see here, we are creating a file handler. In the previous video we doesn't create any handler, but this time we are creating a file handler, and first parameter is the file name, and here this %g denotes a sequential increment number 1 2 3 likewise it will go. This one is the maximum file limit, so in bytes, since here we are specifying 1000, and if it is 1024 we can say it is 1 kilobyte, and since it's 1000 we can say it is less than 1 kilobyte. Then here we state as third parameter number of file count will be 10. So that means when a file, if you see here, the file name is the log %g, that means 0 1 like that it will go, the log _1 dot log, that's the extension, that's what we are giving. So initially the application will write here, then it start rotating this file. We will see that in detail. Next, if you see at handler level, we are setting the log level. Here we are allowing only the severe messages. That means if you log somewhat a deeper message like info or finer message, those will not get passed through this file handler. So let's look at this rotating file information. There are 3 parameters. First parameter is the file name. Second one, we allow maximum file size of 1000 bytes. Then maximum number of files is 0. Let's say initially it will start writing the file at let's say 0. So the log underscore 0 dot log. So that's the file name it will write, and the handler will keep on writing the log messages on this first file at the 0th index. Then once it is overfilled, this will shift towards the right, and this will be numbered as 1, so almost 1 KB in size since it's got filled. Then at the 0th location there will be one more file, and in that new file the logger will write information. So since we allowed maximum of 10, we'll say one, 2, likewise. This will be the 9th file, and here it is writing the 10th one. So since it shift writes, the oldest content will be in log file 9, log file 8 somewhat latest, 7 even more latest, likewise it will go. The 0 will be the current content, and let's say the content will get filled here as well. So now all 10 files is reached. What happens now? This will be removed and it will be pushed back. Pushed back means this 0 will push towards the right, 1, 2, 3, and this 9 will be get deleted, and we will start writing at 0th location once again. So this is how the file handler works with rotating file information. Here the constructor what we are creating is file name, what is the maximum size of each file, and how many files we want to keep. So that means the log will be at 1 to 10. There will be 10 files at most to collect the log information, and since each file in our example holds 1 KB, we will be always having 10 KB of log data. But in real world the size will be even more high. So each file may be some 200 to 300 KB, just for example, but it's up to the developer who decides how to rotate the log file. Alright, next if you see the logger.add handler, we already have the logger and we set level as all, and at handler we set level as severe. Then we are attaching our handler, file handler, to the logger. So in the previous slide we talked about a logger can have multiple handler. Likewise, if you create some more handler, say a socket handler, then you can attach that socket handler to the logger, the logger.add handler, then add whatever handler you have. Likewise, you can add a number of handler, and the log message will get delivered based on the filter level set at the handler level. I mean filter set at the handler level. Alright. Next, at present here I commented the code set formatter new simple formatter. So by default the file handler will defaults to XML formatter. That means when we go to the demo, first we will see how it is producing the content in XML formatter. Then we will uncomment this line and write the content in simple form in the files. I mean log message in simple form instead of XML form. And then we will be having some a sample log message. We can log the message like a specific function. In the previous video, if you watched it, we had called a specific method like error info, like that we called. But here we are calling a common function log, the logger we already created here, the logger.log. Then as first part of first parameter we specify the category level.severe or level.warning, level.info. Since the application is big, it may have several classes and component and a different workflow. At different place we may be calling a different log message. So if there is exception black, and in the exception black we may be calling severe or warning message, and if there is some complex programming workflow, there we will be calling the info messages. All right, so likewise we can call the log method based on our need, but if you look at the handler, they may set with a different log level filter. So here in our example, if you say only this message will pass through this filter, other 3 messages will not pass. When we reduce this level to somewhat deeper information like config info, then we may be getting all these messages. All right, now it's demo time. We will go to NetBeans and we will demo this. So we already have a project called Java IO, and here is our package name, tube coding example Java advanced, and here we'll be creating a new class. We will name this class as adv002 FileHandler example. Package name, since we right clicked it here at this package name, the package name is auto populated here, and we will click finish. So we will remove these unwanted comments. So first we will create a constructor. Next, as a class member, we will have our logger object. We need to import this from java.util.logging. So that's where this logger is coming. So we already created a constructor. Let me double click here. Here you can see log manager. Log manager is from java.util.logging package. Then log level is from java.util.logging, same package. So the packages are imported here. You can see that. So first we use log manager and we are getting the logger. After that we get a global name, and all these stuffs are explained in the PowerPoint. So let's directly go ahead and start writing the code. Next, file handler. File handler is from java.util.logging, the same package. And the file handler requires handling the exception. Add throw class for security exception. We need to handle both these exception. Instead of adding throws, we will surround this with a surround black with a try catch. So the entire black we are surrounding it with a try catch, but more suitable one is surrounding a specific statement, but let's do it this way. Here we added a try catch statement. So file handler is ready and the logger also ready as explained in the slide. Now we need to attach the logger with this handler. So we will have this as commented for now. So after this constructor, we will be having a method test log, and here if you see we are iterating a loop for almost 100 times. and on each iteration we log some sample messages. This is to mimic that the application is logging a variety of messages. Also, this will help us in testing how the rotating file of logs are produced. So here if you see pattern, limit and count. So the limit specifies what is the maximum number of bytes and the number of files to use. So here we told we want to use only 10 files, and the maximum limit for each file is 1 kilobyte or 1000 bytes. So all are done. Now we need to make a entry point for this class. So we will introduce a public static void main. So this is creating our class instance advanced 002 file handler example, and after creating the instance we are simply making call to test logs. So during the construction itself everything is set up. Just for alignment I am doing this, and once the setup is done here we are making call to the test log function, which will log some sample entries. Now we will double click here. So clean and build a project. This will build our previous example also, but that's okay. Then we have entry point on both these files. So what we have to do, just click here, then right click and choose run file. So if you see, it ran. So this is the default handler, right? Console window. Now we will go to C drive, temp, and you can see it produced the log, and the log file name is in the format we specified, the log underscore %g. %g you can see get incremented 0 1 2 3 4. So the latest one is here and the oldest one is here. That means the oldest log entries are here and the latest one will be here. All right, let's open this. Open with okay, let it be notepad, and you can see the formatter by default is XML formatter, and you can see date, time, sequence, global, and logger level is a severe, and class is a tube, coding example, that stuff. Then method is a test log. Test logs is the method, right? That one is written here, test logs, and actual message is here, fatal error 17 message. Fatal error 17 message. Fatal error 17 message, right? Here we are allowing only the severe message, and if you see, all these message types are severe. And there are multiple files like this. Open with notepad, and all are in XML format. All right, now we will delete this and we will go back here, and we will ask to use a simple formatter instead of XML formatter. So the simple formatter is from package Java util login. Now let's build this and run it again. Before that we will check our folder is empty. Run, and this time we will put message as warning. That means it will not log info, but it will log warning and severe. All right, now save all once again we will build all, then run only this file. You can pick any file randomly, open with Notepad. Now you can see the first thing is the content is in a simple form, or the content is formatted by the simple formatter. It's not XML formatter, and you are not seeing the XML content here. And the second thing what you should notice is it is logging severe as well as warning. Previously here we kept only the second level filter we set with severe message. Now we relaxed the filter so that it can log a further deeper level. That means it will log warning message also. Okay, just now you saw the demo. Thank you for watching. Bye.